Schwan's company plans to expand its pizza manufacturing facility in Salina in a big way. The company's CEO, U.S. Senator Jerry Moran, along with many other state, county, and city officials, gathered at Tony's Event Center for a press conference. The new facility is planned to add 400,000 square feet and result in 225 new full-time jobs. It's expected to be operational by 2022.
How was everyone? Nice and cool? Yeah. My name is Mike Smith, and I lead communications for Schwan's company, and I'm really pleased to be here today with all of you. And I won't say a lot. I just want to focus on safety. We are socially distanced here, so if you are uncomfortable with your mask, you can feel free to take your mask off. Obviously, if you want to keep it on, please do so. But I know it is a hot day today, so thank you again for coming, and we've got a great slate of speakers for our big announcement. I first want to introduce the Executive Director of the Salina Airport Authority, Tim Rogers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and welcome all of the distinguished guests. Governor Kelly, Senator Moran, thank you so much for joining us today, and pleased to have you here. Let me give you just a quick review of the agenda, and all comments will be, I think, as brief as possible, but I think they're all significant, all the speakers that you'll be hearing from. I do want to give you some brief comments and some perspective from my point of view related to the project. You'll hear from the City of Salina Mayor Mike Hoppick, Governor Laura Kelly, Senator Jerry Moran, Ray Kowalik, who is the CEO of Burns McDonald. Tony Peary is the Executive Vice President, Schwan's Global Supply Chain. Todd Clark, who is the Vice President of Regional Manufacturing for Schwan's company. And Demetrius excuse me, I practiced this a lot here and I didn't get it here. Demetrius Smirnios. Oh, boy, first double. Never happened before, never. I bet it hasn't. I know, but the guy from Kansas. So, welcome all here today. This is an announcement on a project that is definitely 50 years in the making. And I can say that because it really traces back to the early days of Tony's Little Italy restaurant in downtown Salina. 50 years ago, Dick Barlow and his brother-in-law, Tony Paglia, answered a blind ad in the Wall Street Journal, wanted frozen pizza manufacturer. As I recall the story, Marvin Schwan had his brother Al Schwan travel to Salina, Kansas to check out this pizza manufacturer and these individuals who'd started a facility, a frozen pizza manufacturing facility in an old building of the former Schindler Air Force Base that is now the Salina Airport Industrial Center. I think Al liked what he thought because he and Doris ended up moving here and was, really the driving force, for much of the expansion that occurred at the Salina plant beginning after acquisition by Schwan's. I remember meeting Al very clearly. I met Al about my third day on the job as Executive Director for the Airport Authority. Al very calmly, very firmly shared with me his objectives and his plans for this plant going forward. And I tell you, those plans were based upon some common premise, a partnership, working on together to acquire land, to finance the next expansion, congressional delegation support from the state of Kansas, and community support. Above all, he was stressing teamwork. And Al believed in that. He believed in treating everybody fairly, being equitable, and making sure that it was good in a sense in the end for the community and for his employees. Today's announcement is indeed good news for the Schwan's company, the state of Kansas, the Salina community, and all of Schwan's employees. Following Al's guidance in 1985, teamwork has led to today's announcement. The relationship that the Schwan company has built with the state and the community over the past 50 years is truly unique, a truly special relationship. Al would be pleased with all of those that have worked on this project to this point. The teamwork has been exceptional, of the highest quality, and he would be very pleased with this announcement today. This afternoon's speakers will provide you a little more insight as to the degree and the level of cooperation and teamwork that it took to get us to this really historic announcement today. Our first speaker is Mayor Mike Hoppig. Mike is a business and civic leader second to none in this community. He is a former chair of the Salina Area Chamber of Commerce. He is a former chair of the Salina Airport Authority Board of Directors. He is current mayor of our just excellent board of city commissioners that are leading this community. And he's also led the establishment of what's called the Salina Sculpture Tour in 2011, really bringing quality of life aspect to our community and our downtown. Mike?
Thank you, Tim. This is the type of event as a mayor you dream of, and we are very pleased to be here and excited for what's going on in our community. It seems to me that it's only fitting that Schwan's announcement takes place here at the Tony's Pizza Event Center. The fact that we can see Tony's Pizza's name on the building, what a beautiful backdrop for this, gives us some idea of the partnership Schwan's and the city of Salina has, and reminds us of what an asset Schwan's has been to our community for 50 years. Due to COVID-19, 2020 has been tough on many individuals and communities. This announcement and the investment being made by Schwan's comes at the perfect time. It gives Salina hope that we as a community will continue to grow and flourish. When we talk about economic development, we always talk about growth within companies that are already in Salina. With that being said, Schwan's project may exceed anything I ever thought possible. In fact, I believe that this will be the largest investment in Saline County since 1965. I hope the public understands how important the investment Schwan's is making in the Salina plant is to the city of Salina and the current employees of Schwan's. This project was a competitive bid. In other words, there were other states trying to land this project and bring new jobs to their state. The decision to expand the current facility not only protects the current jobs already here in Salina, but promises to bring additional jobs in the future. Projects like this do not happen by accident. Because of the united efforts of the state of Kansas, City of Salina, Saline County, Salina Community Economic Development Organization, Salina Airport Authority, and the Salina Area Chamber of Commerce, we were able to partner with Schwan's and secure a significant investment in our community. This project would not be coming to Salina if not for the tremendous help we received from Governor Laura Kelly and the Kansas Secretary of Commerce, David Tolan. The state's incentive package is a big part of the reason Schwan's is expanding their plant in Salina. Governor Kelly and her staff actually sat down at the table with Schwan's executive team to make sure that that Project Rise came to Salina. Senator Jerry Moran has always been a great ally for Salina and the state of Kansas in Washington. I would like to thank Senator Moran for his help in securing federal grants from the U.S. Department of Commerce. In closing, I would like to thank Demetrius here we go. Can I just call you, say Demetrius? Thank you. Everybody else does. Good. And his executive team for Schwan's continued investment in our community. Schwan's and the city of Salina have had a wonderful relationship for 50 years. And with Schwan's latest investment in Salina, we look forward to a long and fruitful future for both of us. Thank you, gentlemen. It is with pleasure that I get to introduce our current governor of the state of Kansas, and not only welcome her here, but welcome her back. Governor Laura Kelly and her husband, a lot of you may not know, used to be residents of the city of Salina. And so with that, I will turn it over to Governor Laura Kelly.
you very much, Mayor. Yes, I was a resident of Salina, Kansas. My husband and I came to Salina in 1986. He was a physician with then the Salina Clinic and actually set up the very first accredited sleep lab in the state of Kansas, right here in Salina, Kansas. So it was a good time for both of us. We really appreciated it. I really appreciated this community. You know, I'm a New York City native. When I was looking for something to do on Sunday, I would just go to the New York Times and look up all the things to do in New York City. In Salina, it's a little bit different, but there were tons of things to do here, and it was done by folks from Salina. You know, the arts community that you have here is really second to none. We lived here when the Smoky Hill River Festival had its inaugural event. So just things like that, done by primarily volunteers, is an incredible tribute to this community. And I think it's one of the reasons that we're standing here today. Salina is strong, and Salina cares, and Salina is engaged, and Salina is now being rewarded for all of those attributes. I am really excited to be here to celebrate this new expansion, which is a welcome addition to the Schwan's operations in Salina, but all across our state. From day one, my administration has prioritized rebuilding Kansas's foundation, and that includes fully funding our public schools, passing the 10-year transportation plan, expanding Medicaid and providing access to affordable health care to over 150,000 Kansans, and restoring our economic development tools. I do believe that our new foundation will be an economic driver and will help Kansas recruit and compete for jobs and businesses from across the globe. Schwan's has been a staple, as was said, in Salina for a very long time, and it's been making nationally recognized and delicious brands for decades. It's fitting to celebrate the golden anniversary of pizza being produced in Salina with news today of the expansion of this production facility, creating 225 new full-time jobs. This venture is a testament to our commitment to create good jobs for Kansans, especially at this critical time as we work to recover from the economic challenges brought on by COVID-19. In addition to the 225 full-time jobs created, this expansion also secures the long-term future of over 1,000 current Schwan's workers. We want these jobs to stay right here in Salina or right here in Kansas. It's also good news for our suppliers across Kansas. 7 Kansas companies provide materials ranging from flour, salt, and meat to cartons and packing supplies. In all, 17 Kansas-based vendors supply products and services to the facility. It's a big win for Kansas up and down the supply chain, especially as we're committed to fostering supply chain success for companies of all sizes in our state. As we all face our new normal, it's time for businesses to reevaluate and decide how to best connect with consumers. And that's especially true in food and agriculture in Kansas. Our state is a leader in production and food processing. If you want food to arrive faster and fresher, Kansas is the perfect place to put down roots, in the center of the country, in the center of the continent. When I became governor, I immediately tasked Secretary Tolan with rebuilding the decimated Department of Commerce. David moved quickly to resurrect an international division, which was instrumental in the Schwan's expansion and many other opportunities for companies sure to benefit from our central location, our outstanding workforce, and a receptive business environment. This hit home with CJ, Schwan's parent company in South Korea. And while I appreciate many things about our partnership with Schwan's, the company's commitment to sustainability stands out. I was glad to hear that they will be purchasing renewable energy from Kansas wind farms through Evergy. This project will also bring state-of-the-art technology to Kansas. Advanced manufacturing is a key part of our new framework for growth. The Schwan's facility is a great example of this important pursuit. While we're all celebrating here today, It wouldn't be possible without an all-hands-on-deck approach to economic development. It took a team effort involving local and federal partners and support from the state through our Departments of Commerce and Transportation. From workforce development to infrastructure, several key economic development priorities came together to make this happen. I very much appreciate the leadership of Secretary Tolan and Kansas Department of Transportation Secretary Julie Lorenz, both of whom I believe are here today. And thanks to Senator Jerry Moran, who's been a strong partner in securing federal resources to get this done for Kansas. Days like this simply aren't possible without the support of an engaged economic development team collaborating and pulling in the same direction to deliver growth for Kansas. But we're not going to stop here. I'm committed to aggressively pursuing economic development opportunities for Kansas. It's an important part of my job, especially as we continue rebuilding Kansas's foundation. Together, we can continue to make great things happen for our economy and for our state. And I want to thank everyone again who made this day possible. We're looking forward to 50 more years of great pizza made right here in Salina. And with that, I'd like to introduce someone who needs no introduction and thank him for being such a terrific partner and a strong advocate for Kansas. Now, Senator Moran, you know that I was told I could say whatever I wanted to about you. And so I do want to give Senator Moran a shout out, not only for what he has done for this project and many other projects in the state of Kansas, but also for what a strong partner he has been as we battle our way through this pandemic. He's been just a phone call away when the state has needs and always been responsible. Senator Moran, I want to thank you personally for that.
I leaned over and told the governor before she introduced me that I introduced her at an announcement earlier in the week. I guess can't be earlier this week, last week. And a partisan, not that there's any partisans among us, but a partisan said, "You were too nice in introducing the governor," hoping that she'd say something nice about me today since I paid a price for her last week. So Governor, thank you very much for those comments, but thank you very much for your leadership, the Department of Commerce, the state of Kansas, and its engagement all across Kansas, but here today we recognize that in Salina and Saline County. This really is a great occasion. We have a lot of challenges with COVID-19, and it's good news whenever we save jobs at any day, at any time. It's a good day when we add jobs to the Kansas workforce, but especially today when there is so much uncertainty in people's lives. Is school going to take place? Are kids going to be in the classroom? Will I have a job? When do I get to go back to work? How long will I keep my job? COVID-19 has created lots and lots of issues for Kansans, and this certainty that comes from the announcement today by Schwan's, by Tony's, is so welcome, and so we're so pleased. Demetrius, you and your team have been great. You have followed on. Tony's has a history, Schwan's has a history in Kansas and in Salina. It's a history that Salinians know about and care about and recognize as solid community citizens. You are now creating a legacy, a future, because of the decision you made today. That what's transpired in this community by a company that was fully engaged in the community, by people who worked and cared for the company, that still matters. That's a reward that we want to see recognized, that when people work together, there's a positive benefit that comes from that. And I appreciate the recognition that your decision to expand and to remain in Salina today. Al Schwan was my campaign finance chairman. I miss him greatly. And just again, as we stand in front of the Tony's Pizza Events Center, recognizing what a significant company this is to this community and to our state, and really to our nation. School lunch programs, food feeding hungry. The federal government and Schwan's has a long history, and we're pleased to recognize that as well. And perhaps as well, as much as importance is to tell the folks in Salina what a great community this is. I had lunch downtown today The choices for me where to have lunch have expanded dramatically over the last several years. Downtown, which exemplifies a community in so many ways, is so improved with such a bright future. And that only happens because of the leadership of this community and the support of its citizens. So thank you for being the kind of community that you are and accomplishing the things on behalf of the citizens of Salina and Saline County that you do. I'm going to be in Denver on a week from today, and we're going to continue our efforts to make certain that the federal support that's been mentioned is forthcoming in a timely fashion. And we'll do everything we can to make sure that this project is seen to its fullest fruition, with great news for today and bright news for tomorrow. Finally, I would indicate that I was not in charge of the arrangements today, and I feel guilty that I'm sitting in the shade and you're in the sun. Thank you very much.
Mayor Habig, Governor Kelly, and Senator Moran, thank you very much. Again, talking a lot about the team, and this is some insights that you'll hear today from the team that's made up on the Schwan side, this day making this possible. I would first like to introduce, and then they'll introduce each other as we keep the program moving. I'd like to introduce Ray Kowalik. Ray is the CEO of the Kansas-based Burns McDonald, the Kansas-based company, 100% owned engineering, 100% employee-owned engineering, architecture, and construction firm. They are taking the lead on a lot of the design and construction services. There's a fact, though, that this is not Burns McDonald's, quote, first rodeo here in Salina, Kansas. Burns McDonald got its start in Kansas in about the early 40s and got going then. The firm's first major undertaking in 1942 was the construction of the Smoky Hill Army Airfield. So they are no stranger to Salina, Kansas. Ray, please join us.
And I wasn't here in 1942, but I'm here today and here to represent Burns & McDonald. And we're the people that are going to design and build this facility. And we drove around the site on the way here, and I was very, very excited. I don't know if you've been on the site, but it's going to extend basically where the facility is now all the way south, basically to the Budweiser distributorship. Can you imagine if you get a lockdown again, a better place to be, a pizza coming off the line, the Budweiser distributorship? We're coming back here in the next lockdown. I'm have to ask Demetrius though, we got to move the ice cream plant down here next time too, because then we'll be set for good. I want to thank Schwan's, but also CJ. All this is also an investment by our partnership with the Koreans, Schwan's partnership with the Koreans, CJ Foods. Mr. Cho's here, and he has been a big part in this investment in the United States, much less Kansas, and it's great to have them part of this team. Thank all the people that made this happen. We talked about this didn't happen overnight. It's actually been in the planning process with the Schwan's leadership for years, not for a few months, but for years. It takes a long time to decide where and what and how to build, and the continued investment in this community. One commitment that we have that is so important to us is safety. And we're going to have a lot of people on this job site. In fact, the estimate of total man hours on this project is 900,000 man hours to build it. So a big investment in construction craft and field personnel. I put a number in front of you. The national average of safety incidents is if somebody gets hurt bad enough that they need to get stitches or something worse than that, the national average is a recordable rate of 3. Our firm's very proud that our recordable rate is 0.3. Now to put that in perspective, on an average job that was 900,000 man hours, if you were the national average, it'd be 13 to 14 injuries that would happen on the job site. Hopefully minor stuff, a sprained ankle, but sometimes there's worse than that. Our commitment to safety and our commitment to this community, on average, our job site would have 1. Our goal is 0. Our goal is 0 every day. we're going to make sure we make a safe job site. The other great thing is the job creation, not just on construction craft, but at our company. Quite honestly, right now, the nation's on a little bit of a pause. We have a lot of projects that are ongoing, and most of them are ongoing, but the new projects are kind of slow at getting out of the gate. People wonder what the new world will look like. And this investment by Schwan's, not just in this community, but the region, this, in our opinion, we did the research, is be the second largest foods related project in the United States going on in the same time frame. So a huge investment to this community. I'm a numbers guy. I do like profits, but I also like construction quantities. The building will be 400,000 square feet, almost 14 football fields long, almost 1,200 feet long. It'll be a linear facility. 11,000 cubic yards of concrete, a lot of concrete trucks in and out of here. Over 100,000, so think about that, 20 miles of piping. It has an 11 MVA transformer, it's 11 megawatts. Partners with Evergy are making that investment in the infrastructure for the electrical demand, and 532 pieces of equipment. And the facility will produce, think about this, 138 million pizzas a year. 138 million pizzas a year. The plan, assuming we can get this started and get going on schedule, is in the fall of 22. So a little bit over 2 years from now, we'll be producing pizzas. On average, during the 2 years, we'll have 250 people on the job site and probably peak somewhere in the neighborhood of around 450 people. And we estimate there'll be about 400 Kansas residents working on the job site at any one given time. And another little factoid, you're also helping us create jobs in Kansas City with your University of Kansas, Kansas State, Wichita State grads. Currently, we have 840 college grads from those universities working on projects in Kansas City. And we have almost 1,700 residents in this great state of Kansas. And as a Missouri grad, that's hard to say, it's a great state of Kansas, but I don't see any lightning striking down from Governor Parson. So the great state of Kansas. And it will also allow us to continue hiring. You know, we've taken a little pause on hiring, not knowing what the future holds. And this investment will be a great part for our commitment to the great grads of the universities here in Kansas. So it's my pleasure to introduce the guy that's been kind of the mastermind behind this with Schwan's Foods, Tony Curry. Welcome, Tony.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Ray. It's fantastic having a Kansas-based partner, Ray and his team, Burns McDonnell, a really great, outstanding firm working with us. Let me extend my thanks again as we look around the room. On behalf of Schwan's and a parent company, CJ, I'd like to say thank you to the partnership with Tim Rogers. I know we've spoken and we've worked very well together. It's been outstanding. Thank you, Mayor Habeck. Nice to meet you. Governor Kelly, thank you for all the wonderful things that you've said, and Senator Moran, outstanding support that you and your team. But let me not forget Secretary Toland, Secretary Lorenz, and their teams. There are a lot of people working behind the scenes to make a project of this magnitude happen, and my deepest appreciation to all of them. These are exciting times for us at Schwan's. As Ray pointed out, it took a lot of planning over a number of years to get here. But when we look forward, the exciting times is to build a highly automated, state-of-the-art manufacturing pizza facility. I'll talk a little bit more about that, give you a few more facts. Some of them have been shared by the team here. Again, this brings 225 jobs by 2023, on top of the 1,100 people that work at Schwan's already. So that adds significantly to the community and the job jobs here. Again, just to remind ourselves, this facility will feature the pizza manufacturing for two of our country's most popular pizza brands, Red Baron's and Tony's. And my partner and friend Julie Francis, she's the president of our consumer brands, and she and her team lead the sales for this. And we're very proud of those two brands, especially through the last pandemic. They basically carry the company to the back of their on the back. We're going to be adding state-of-the-art production equipment. This is the best. We're working with all our suppliers, equipment suppliers. We've chosen the best lines, putting together a multitude of suppliers that will supply this line for us to give us a state-of-the-art line. We'll be making 100 million pizzas per year out of this line. That's a significant amount of pizzas, and I think Ray mentioned if you were going to be locked down, quarantined, you get a lot of pizza coming out. Safety is at Schwan's. Safety is one of our top priorities. We've spent a lot of time working closely with Burns and McDonald's, and our learnings from the last 4 or 5 months of working through the pandemic, designing in all of the safety protocols and the technology. We have a lot of automation going in to be able to make sure that we protect our employees through this. So that's a huge, we're following the CDC guidelines. That is very, very important, front and center for us, similar to what Ray said. We're also committed to building an environmental friendly plant. And Governor Kelly already pointed out that we will be partnering with several of the utility companies. But let me give you a few insights. We will reduce our output of wastewater by 10,000 gallons per day, which is significant when we design a manufacturing plant of this size. We will have delivered a lot of natural gas efficiencies, which was significant as we look at environmentally friendly. We're partnering with Evergy Energy, great partner for in the state of Kansas. We're making a commitment, a 20-year agreement to purchase renewable energy from the Soldier Creek wind farm in Kansas. So that's significant for us, significant for Evergy. They've been a great partner through this thing. So that really kind of rounds out our sustainability very nicely, working with the state and for the company. With this expansion, it's like unlike any other ones in the industry. It's the number 2 project that Ray mentioned in the food space in the U.S., but it is also very unique in the pizza manufacturing world. And again, that produces high quality products for our customers, consumers, and the broader Salina community. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for our operation and our pizza. And I really look forward to working with everybody here and the team to really make this a gigantic success. Thank you all for all the hard work that has gone in to all of this, and there's more to come. But with that, let me introduce you to the person that kind of makes this thing hum. That's Todd Clark. He's a vice president of regional pizza manufacturing. Todd, come on up.
All right, well, I was hoping for maybe one cloud to pop over today, but we didn't get one yet, so apologize for that. So again, thanks, Tony. Thank you all for being here today. You know, what an exciting time. As a Kansas resident, someone that's actually lived in Salina and part of the community, you know, I'm especially excited about this project and what it means to our local community, but also the state of Kansas as well. As Tony stated, you know, we're building a facility for the future and setting up opportunities for generations to come, and that's really exciting. And certainly for myself, being on the manufacturing side, it's something that we long for in our careers. So there are a number of people, and so we've talked about all of the folks that go in and make these things possible. But I think first and foremost, I need to thank our dedicated employees that manufacture for us every single day. Very trying times, and I tell you, it is the most amazing workforce that I've ever been associated with in my manufacturing career. So I cannot say enough good things about them. You know, as Tony mentioned about safety, what I will say also is we've had an amazing partnership when we look at with the Salina Fire Department. And I want to specifically call out Chief Royce and his team. We will continue to engage them as we design and make changes around the safety of our new facility and continue to work with them on a very close basis. I know Chris Wiseman is also engaged with them as well. So again, just want to call out Chief Royce and his team for their dedication in working with us. Also, as we called out before, these things happen because of a lot of partnerships with several people, and I would be remiss if I didn't call them out specifically. And Tim, obviously Tim Rogers has played a big role in helping me. And Tim, I think my first year here, there was a crane in the air about every week for quite some time, so you've been a big part of that. Mike Schrag, our city manager, Martha Tasker, I know I saw her here today, her team, Martha's in the back there, thank you for all your help as well. Eric Brown with the Chamber, Mitch Robinson, you guys have all been phenomenal through this work over the last several years going through this project. Also from a manufacturing standpoint, I think it's very important to call out some of our local contractors that help us. They do make a lot of this possible to keep our facilities going. So again, people like McIntyre Welding, Superior Plumbing, TCI, Precision Electric, GNN Electric, and Caw Valley Engineering, they've all played roles in our success in Salina. And again, I just want to make sure that people understand their value that they bring to us as a company. So a few minutes ago, Tony also talked about the addition of 225 new jobs, full-time jobs, and I want to take a minute to talk about those. So obviously, as we talk about the technology and the state-of-the-art facility, we're going to be employing a lot of new equipment, and that's going to come with a high level of technical expertise. So this facility is going to have jobs that are going to be dramatically different. You will see people that are highly technical. We're going to have process engineers, electrical controls engineers, and obviously these highly integrated work teams are going to operate and maintain their equipment. And because of that expertise, you're going to see also higher paying jobs as we bring those into the new facilities. So again, all those things are great for the local community as well. So as a member of the Schwan's leadership team and a Kansas resident and someone who's been a member of the Salina community, I am confident that this is the right place for us to build our new facility, and Salina will help us sustain that workforce. So like Tony, I'm incredibly excited for what the future holds as we set up these opportunities for generations to come. I'm not going to try to pronounce Demetrius' last name, but I'm going to introduce Demetrius up here, our CEO.
Well, I have good news. I will make, after my speech, I will make 0 introductions, so we will be done. Okay, so that's really good news. I can see people's foreheads, the heat is on. It's good to be here, but it's okay, Tim. But I will also tell you that days like this, people don't like to turn their stoves on, so I know there's not a lot of pizzas being consumed right now, so that concerns me. But I do want to thank everybody, and thank you, Todd and Chris, and really the leadership team that leads our business in Salina. Because we do have an investment criteria. We invest in our people, we invest in our brands, we invest in our customers, and we invest in the communities that support us. So today you've seen a sample of our people, you know our brands, you are part of the community, and some of you clearly know our customers. But I also wanted to thank everybody and join Todd and Tony, and really from CJ Schwan's, from all of us, and really the support that we've received in this community, and not just now, but for a very long time. The Kansas community, the Salina community has been a very important part of this decision. And as a country, as a community, we all are going through a pandemic. This COVID-19 pandemic is really challenging us. So I thank you for coming here today in a safe manner so we can have this celebration. Clearly, this celebration would have been very different without this pandemic, but I appreciate you guys coming out to be able to share in this special occasion in a safe manner. All of our speakers today discussed a lot of important things, and there's tremendous value that everybody that thanked and supported this process in this decision that we've made. I can tell you this, that this decision took a while because it's really an important decision. It's the largest investment that Schwan's has made. And that decision cannot be made lightly. We've studied it, and we spent a lot of time to do this decision because we want it to be a great decision for not just now, for the exciting part of today, but frankly, for the very long term. As I reflect back on this celebration, I will say it's ironic that we're in our 50th year of doing business, that we're going through this celebration. 50 years is a long time, and I do want to have another 50, but frankly another 150 years and producing product here. And this all started by a young man, Marvin Schwan, and the famous story that Tim talked about from the Wall Street Journal really is how it all started. This young man, Marvin Schwan, started a company, and he wanted to get into the pizza business, and he ran a want ad in the Wall Street Journal. And we today are sitting here with the Tony's plant. But that's the easy part. What's hard is the number of employees, the community, the civic leaders that have supported this process way before my time. And for that, I'm very respectful of that and appreciate that. And this is just a small gesture to show how much we've appreciated the support over the years since Marvin started this business. No one thought in 1970 that we would have this size of business. But through a lot of hard work, through the investment of the Schwan family, and through many of your support, today this is the largest pizza factory for us, and we believe it's the largest frozen pizza factory in the world today. So when you look at this, it is important for the future as we look at how to compete and as we look at how to continue to have success. I think as mentioned a couple times, business today is extremely competitive, not just because of COVID, but it's competitive because everybody is trying to meet the needs of customers and consumers and to truly, as Ray said, have some numbers, but also some profit. And that's being challenged. But I have to thank the group. I think that from my perspective, the respect for Mayor, the Governor, the Senator, and their entire teams, because it's really not just 3 people that supported that. Mayor Hoppe, Governor Kelly, and obviously Senator Moran have been the voice that says, look, we want Kansas to be a state, Salina to be a city where people love to work and to live. Clearly, that's a platform that's extremely important, and that's not going to change. But all I can tell you is from a recipient of that message that the rest of their teams were very, very supportive. And Secretary David Tolan, I will say to you, I really appreciate the method and the approach, the informal approach. You're a person of your word, and I can tell you that we were going to be flying to Korea, and David knew this, and we didn't fly because of the COVID pandemic, and it was a decision-making time that I had to obviously talk to our parent company about this project. And my cell phone went off, and I was in the car, and it was David, and he said, look, I just want to make sure you know that whatever you need, we will support you, and we want you to be in Kansas. Sometimes those simple words matter the most. Because yes, we've had support from an incentive standpoint. As I mentioned, it's a competitive environment. But I will say that phone call for me gave me confidence to represent the state of Kansas, the city of Salina, to our parent company in a way that says, look, we are wanted here, and we want to contribute to the community and to the employees that are here. So the excitement is really high inside our company. We want to be the largest pizza market shareholder in the United States. This is a very big investment from a capacity standpoint to make that happen. We want our employees to have not just 200 more opportunities, but we want our current employees to have career opportunities. This investment allows that. As Todd and Tony talked about, we will have many people from the state of Kansas, internally and externally, working on this project. So looking ahead, I can tell you that on behalf of everybody at Schwan's, we are looking to build a world-class food manufacturing facility in this community. One that makes great pizza for our customers and our consumers. One that allows our employees to be safe and produce safe food. And in this pandemic, many of us know how important that is. A facility that from an environmental and sustainability standpoint provides benefits to the community, to the state, and to our people. A facility that does add jobs and give career opportunities, but most importantly, a world-class facility that allows this community to be very proud for many, many years to come. So on behalf of everybody at Schwan's, I want to thank you all for your support. It's very respected, very appreciated, and we want to make you proud for many years. Thank you. And with that, we can move as quickly, as safely possible into the shade.
Governor Laura Kelly says all resources pulling in the same direction are essential.
It's the only way it works, is everybody's got to work together and we all have to be trying to move in the same direction. And so we started this a long time ago with the city of Salina, the EcoDevo folks from Salina, Tim Rogers in particular, and then of course we've been working with our federal partners, Senator Moran in particular, to bring all the resources together to be able to make this happen here for the city of Salina, for Saline County, but also for the state of Kansas. This will have great effects.
Okay, and one more question. I can't remember which speaker it was alluded to as we move into a different time. He was speaking in terms of the technological advances we're making, paying more to employees. This comes at a time where all of those thoughts are very important. How do you see that fitting into what's happening with the state and the country right now with COVID-19?
Well, we are moving into a highly technological world. That's just how everything is going, and manufacturing is no different than that. So the kind of jobs that will be here at the expansion of Schwan's will be highly technical, and you're going to have some very highly trained folks performing those tasks. That means, in many ways, that those will be very competitive, higher paying jobs that will really influence the quality of life here and the tax base here in the city of Salina.